So Martin is going now. Where's Jude? Judy. Stay there, John.
Bloody hell.
They were in the way.
Hey?
They're not real.
They are in the way, weren't they? Yeah.
That's a good job.
Sorry?
Good job.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just before we begin, can I ask you please to put your mobile phone on to silent or switch it off. At the point of the signing of the register, you will be you're welcome to take photos throughout the ceremony. But at the point of signing the register, we ask that you don't take photos of the real register because obviously there's other people's data is on view. But we will be inviting you to come forward and take photographs when the bride and groom are over here. Alright, and you can throw confetti. People often do that in the steps, or there's a lovely grass area outside as long as they're on the steps. Okay, so I'll go and fetch the bridesmaids and the bride, and when they're all ready, I'll let you to stand up there. All ready? Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the bride and the bridesmaids. Summer stars are in the sky. Get the ferry out from Luna and wave all our cares goodbye. Ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you all to Backhouse Hall, which has been duly sanctioned, according to law, for the celebration of marriage. This is a very important and special occasion for John and Kath. And it is good to see you here today to share and join in their celebrations. But you will also be taking part in today's marriage ceremony by listening to and witnessing the two legal declarations which must be made by the bride and groom. John and Kath begin by declaring that they are free to be married to each other. And then, at the moment of the marriage itself, they will make a marriage contract with one another, taking each other to be husband and wife. You, John, and you, Kath, are now about to marry each other in accordance with the law, in my presence, and in the presence of the witnesses here assembled. If any person here present knows of any lawful impediment to this marriage, then he or she should declare it now. The purpose of marriage is to provide a moral and legally binding commitment between two people. Two people making a declaration that they are now united as one. But also through the vows that are being made today, John and Kath are making a commitment to each other for the rest of their lives. Marriage is not an easy path. It requires love, the ability to listen to each other, the wisdom to know when we are wrong, and the strength to put things right. For John and Kath, getting married today is a proud confirmation of the love, respect, and true friendship that they have for each other. Together they will be stronger to meet whatever life holds for them. John and Kath, today you will exchange vows, uniting you both as husband and wife. The words are a formal and public pledge of your love and a promise of lifelong dedication to each other. You have chosen to make this pledge and commitment before these people, your family and friends, people who are important to you and will help you to shape your future lives together. I would now like to invite Kathy, the groom's sister, to come forward and share a reading with us. If you'd like to take my place.
Good afternoon. This is a poem that I've been asked to read that was prepared by Susan Pollis-Schutz and written to her daughter. Love is being happy for the other person when they're happy, being sad for the other person when they're sad, being together in good times and being together in bad. Love is a source of strength. Love is the excitement of planning things together, the excitement of doing things together. Love is the source of the future. Love is giving and taking in a daily situation, being patient with each other's needs. Love is the source of sharing. Love is knowing that the other person will always be with you, regardless of what happens. Missing the other person when they're away, but remaining near in heart at all times. Love is the source of security.
Thank you. Okay, I'm now obliged to ask you, John, what is your full name?
John Anthony Diamond.
And Kath, what is your full name?
Kathleen Bernadette Hesketh.
Before you are both joined in marriage, I have to remind you both of the solemn and binding character of the vows you are about to make. Marriage in this country means the union of two people voluntarily entered into for life, to the exclusion of all others. Now I'm going to ask each of you in turn to declare that you do not know of any legal reason why you may not be married to each other. Are you, John Anthony Diamond, free lawfully to marry Kathleen Bernadette Hesketh?
I am, yes.
Thank you. Are you, Kathleen Bernadette Hesketh, free lawfully to marry John Anthony Diamond?
I am.
Right, we're going to have another reading now. I'd like to invite Chris, the brother of the bride, to come forward and share a reading with us.
Hello everyone, this is a lovely love story by Edward Monkton. The fierce dinosaur was trapped inside his cage of ice. Although it was cold, he was happy in there. It was, after all, his cage. Then along came the lovely other dinosaur. The lovely other dinosaur melted the dinosaur's cage with kind words and loving thoughts. I like this dinosaur, thought the lovely other dinosaur. Although he is fierce, he is also tender, and he is funny. He is also quite clever, though I will never tell him that for now. I like this lovely other dinosaur, thought the dinosaur. She is beautiful, she is different, and she smells so nice. She is also a free spirit, which is a quality I much admire in a dinosaur. But he can be so distant and so peculiar at times. thought the lovely other dinosaur. He is also overly fond of things. Are all dinosaurs so overly fond of things? But her mind skips from here to there so quickly, thought the dinosaur. She is uncommonly keen on shopping. Are all lovely other dinosaurs so uncommonly keen on shopping? I will forgive his peculiarity and his concern for things, thought the lovely other dinosaur, for they are part of what makes him a richly charactered individual. I will forgive her skipping mind and her fondness for shopping, thought the dinosaur, for she fills our life with beautiful thoughts and wonderful surprises. Besides, I'm not unkeen on shopping either. Now the dinosaur and the lovely other dinosaur are old. Look at them. Together they stand. This is what's written. Together they stand on the hill, telling each other stories and feeling the warmth of the sun on their backs. And that, my friends, is how it is with love. Let us all be dinosaurs and lovely other dinosaurs together, for the sun is warm and the world is a beautiful place.
Thank you. And now the solemn moment has come for these two persons to contract their marriage before you, their witnesses. Would you all please stand? John and Kathleen, I am now going to ask each of you in turn to make your next declaration, which is your vow and contract to your marriage. May I please ask, who is giving the bride away?
I am Mine Heskett, her son.
Would you like to? Repeat these words. I, John Anthony Diamond,
I, John Anthony Diamond,
take thee, Kathleen Bernadette Heskett,
take thee, Kathleen Bernadette Heskett,
to be my wedded wife,
to be my wedded wife,
secure in the knowledge
secure in the knowledge
that you will be a constant friend,
that you will be a constant friend,
my faithful partner in life,
my faithful partner in life,
and my one true love.
and my one true love.
Today I give to you,
Today I give to you,
in the presence of these witnesses,
in the presence of these witnesses,
my promise to support you
I promise to support you
through good times
through good times
and the bad.
and bad.
I promise to love you without reservation,
I promise to love you without reservation,
comfort you in times of distress,
comfort you in times of distress,
encourage you to achieve your aims,
encourage you to achieve your aims,
always be open and honest with you,
always be open and honest with you,
and cherish you
and cherish you
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
Brilliant. I, Kathleen Bernadette Heskett,
I, Kathleen Bernadette Heskett,
take thee, John Anthony Diamond,
take thee, John Anthony Diamond,
to be my wedded husband,
to be my wedded husband,
secure in the knowledge
secure in the knowledge
that you will be a constant friend,
that you will be a constant friend,
my faithful partner in life,
my faithful partner in life,
and my one true
and
love.
my one true love.
Today I give to you,
Today I give to you,
in the presence of these witnesses,
in the presence of these witnesses,
my promise to support you
my promise to support you
through the good times and the bad.
through the good times and the bad.
I promise to love you without
I
reservation,
promise to love you without reservation,
comfort you in times of distress,
comfort you in times of distress,
encourage you to achieve your aims,
encourage you to achieve your aims,
always be open and honest with
always
you,
be open and honest with you,
and cherish you
and cherish you
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
A wedding ring is the ancient and traditional way of sealing the contract you have just made. It is an unbroken circle which symbolises unending and everlasting love and is the outward sign of a lifelong promise you have made to each other. Please be seated, and we'll now have another reading by Dominic, the bride's brother.
This is a poem called Maybe. Maybe we are supposed to meet the wrong people before we meet the right one. So when they finally arrive, we are truly grateful for the gift we have been given. Maybe it's true that we don't know what we have lost until we lose it, but it's also true that we don't know what we are missing until it arrives. Maybe the happiest of people don't have the best of everything, but make the best of everything that comes our way. Maybe the best kind of love is the kind where you sit on the sofa together, not saying a word, and walk away feeling like it was the best conversation you ever had. Maybe once in a lifetime you find someone who not only touches your heart, but also your soul. Because someone who loves you for who you are and not for what you could be. Maybe the art of true love is not about finding the perfect person, but about seeing an imperfect person perfectly.
Absolutely lovely words. John and Kath, you have both made the declaration prescribed by law and have made a solemn and binding contract with each other in the presence of the witnesses here assembled. This day will form a milestone in your lives. You will look back upon it with love and happiness as the start of a new phase in your lives together. We hope that the feelings of love that you have for each other will deepen and grow even stronger throughout the years ahead. John and Kath, it is my great pleasure to pronounce you husband and wife together. Ladies and gentlemen, the bride and groom and the witnesses will now come forward to sign the register. As I say, you can take some photos when they're sitting over here, and then I'll ask you to take your seats again before we get the bride and groom to lead us out. Okay.
singing to me just because of marriage. Oh, thank you.
Pretend to
Instructions from the chief. Thank you. Thank you. Is that better?
Can I get you both looking down there? And then just looking at each other again. If you sort of look at each other now, lovingly. And then looking straight at me. And again. Right, just one for
Photographer, would you like the witnesses as well?
yes, please,
Would
yeah.
witnesses like to stand round the back while you're in beautiful dress?
Get squashing as much as you can. In fact, let's go get somebody around there. Yeah. Yeah, doing it fine. Right, here we go. Action. Now move you a bit like that. Right, perfect. Right, here we go. Right, right, looking this way then at this one, here we go. And again. And one more. Right, here we go, this way. Yeah. Right, and again. Right, and again.
Excellent, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Life event. I'd like to ask you if you'd like to turn around, face your family and friends. Please be upstanding for the bride and groom.
I need someone.
Thanks for that. Any more weddings today, like? Another
When you're here, it's when you're actually here, it's not that's quite a good point.
Oh, it's warm in here, isn't it?
Close up of you.
Sorry?
You're doing a video of you.
You want a video of me? I don't know whether that's allowed.
Where's Martin and has he got umbrellas?
Yeah.
Good to know.
I know he said he couldn't look at you.
All the time now. Thank you.
Waft people to Truffles then.
Where's our leader? We'll get the photographs in there.
Good, Jeff, get in.
Right, sorry.
Come on, you two. Where's Chris May? Come on.
I'll be 1 second. Where he's going? Where are they going? Champion. Oh, it's in the car, isn't
Can you people there be over here? Keep coming.
Come across, John.
You'll need to be.
Chris, come in next to Chris.
Anybody can stand it. We're going to get you two on the end there to go right over there. Can you dodge it through underneath that tree? If you've got a good view of me, then you'll be in. If you're behind that chandelier, if you just nudge a bit like that. Right, this is looking alright. Right, now make sure you got a good view of me. Here you go. Hold on. Right, and again.
Take the lens cap off.
Right, keep looking this way, that's it. Couple more. Right, keep looking at me.
We're all concentrating on putting the tongue behind
Right, now the ones behind there, just nudge it again a bit that way. Right, here we go, keep looking this way again. And again. Right, one last one. Right, that's great then, thank you.
Shall we all go sit? Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
To be fair,
there you are.
I know.
Does anybody want to come up and take a picture?
You stay there.
Take a picture.
Stay like that, right? Jump down a bit.
Take the jeans off. Is that what you're telling me? No, yeah, it's just one time.
Right, if you don't tell me,
Emily's going to take so much, is Stewie? Yeah, is that, are we done? Yes.
all right, this way. Okay. We still got the cake?
Yes, I think so.
Absolutely, leave it with us.
Are we ready to go?
I don't think I got that.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Asked me to be his best person. I presumed everyone else would say no. I've known John since 1988, and our friendship started off on a very rocky path. In other words, it didn't taste much like that. Well, John, it's now payback time. And in the words of Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman, asking me to do this speech was a big mistake. Big. Huge. So here I am, and where do I start? I first met John when we both worked for the same retail company. And we immediately became great enemies, as we were both vying to be the best manager. Since that time, things have got progressively better. Well, they couldn't really get any worse. We've been through many things together, including drinking, oh, and more drinking. Unfortunately for you all, the cheque John gave me to refrain from revealing any improprieties hasn't bounced. So I have to keep stum. Sorry, Kathy. Sorry, Kathy.
Not at all anymore.
This now means you're having a 2-week honeymoon in Whitley Bay. Instead of Cape Verde.
Nothing wrong with Whitley Bay.
No wrong.
Caravans are nice there.
As many of you will know, John is renowned for his love of music. At one time, John used to be a progressive rock fan and listened to some bizarre music. Still does. But his lifestyle is very different nowadays. And instead of listening to decadent lyrics, he prefers to watch Coronation Street.
Yes, nothing wrong with that.
His role models are no longer Dave Gilmore and Roger Waters. They are Roy Cotter and Ken Love.
Not wrong.
Miss you really.
John's search for his soulmate. John's search for his soulmate was long and agonising. Match.com didn't have a match. eHarmony.com couldn't find anybody within 3 octaves. Speed dating passed him by quicker than Usain Bolt. And finally, the Lonely Hearts Club wrote back and said they weren't that cool. Seriously, it was during his school days when John and Kathy's paths first crossed, as John was best friends with Kathy's brother Michael. However, it has taken them all these years to realise they were made for each other. In Kathy, he has truly found his soulmate. She is beautiful, intelligent, witty, caring, and the life and soul of the party.
Yes. Are you listening, Michael?
She is the best thing to ever happen to him. Kathy, if you need my bank account details.
Tomorrow morning, my friend.
Marriage is not about finding a person you can live with. It's about finding the person you can't live without. John has found that with Kathy. I ask you all now to join me in congratulating Mr. and Mrs. Diamond. May their life together bring them much happiness. Thank you.
Mr. and Mrs. Diamond.
Norman, perhaps historic. What you are witnessing is the first and the last time I will be allowed to speak for Kathy. So, on behalf of my wife and I, it is of course traditional that the groom thanks the bride's parents and family for raising such a wonderful daughter and allowing me to marry her and become part of the family. Ma'am, Kath and Lawrence have of course treated me as one of the family for many years, and I do look forward to many free lunches to come. Thank you. I'm also lucky enough to remember Kath's dad, Walter. 36 Langham Crescent was partly central when I was a kid. And when you got there, he would keep an eye on the arrivals. Happy to let the beer and the cider pass by. Anything stronger ended up in the Weber's drink cabinet. Kath tells me that her party at Christmas was legendary. So, at the time, of course, Kath was just Mike's little sister and not worthy of my adolescent attention. I like to think, however, there maybe was a spark in our eyes. Maybe. Life, of course, took us in different directions, and it was to be 30-odd years later, 2007, that we met again to become friends and partners. I suggested we meet outside Dressers. Having been away from town 20 years, I didn't know he was gone. However, was a building site in the process of becoming a pedestrian park. Kath only had an hour. Rosie was babysitting and had to be home, so it was long enough for us to arrange another date though, and so it began. It took Kath a year to tell her big brother that she was seeing the kid who tried to sneak the vodka into the party. Sheila, however, knew the very next day and joined us for a drink in the soon-to-be Urban Conservatory on the very next day.
That's true.
There was also a bizarre meeting with Chris, which you won't know about. A few weeks after we started dating, I came to pick Kath up for a stolen moment because Chris was babysitting Martin, who was in the house, and he came stomping out. Who the hell are you? Genuinely, he shouted through the door of the beat up camper van.
She needs looking after.
Thanks, Chris.
Kath came out of the house and said he was campering. Off he went to look after Martin, and Martin, the guy, we've hit it off from day one. People have said to me how well I have handled the relationship, but that is nonsense. It was Martin who has always been the star. He accepted me into a tiny family, and at 11 years old was man enough to share his man with me. He showed the maturity of somebody twice his age, and without that we'd never made it to today. So the real heartfelt special thanks goes to Martin. The Debbie, your bridesmaid. I did look up the collective noun on Google. It is a madness of bridesmaid. My best person home for getting me here, and my mum for getting me here too. Also, thanks for Barbara and Kathy. Barbara's come from Canada, and Kath's come down from London. And not only has Barbara come from Canada, but she put a shift in doing Kath's hair this morning. I do promise I will always take care of Kath. She's not only beautiful and caring, intelligent, funny. What's that say? Oh yeah. She's also a domestic goddess.
Too much there, Michael. Thank you.
So please, let's go to Kath, my bride and soulmate.
And now we have the bride, Ronald, Kath and Johns.
I know, scary Mary. Thank you so much for coming to join my husband and I to celebrate our wedding. We wouldn't be here without the love and support of two very important women. Both our mothers have helped and guided us towards the people John and I are today. John's mum Derrin has been incredibly welcoming to both me and Martin, and I want to thank her for raising a son that's found enough good in me to want to get married. So thank you to Derrin. To my mum Kath, I just want to say thank you for all your love and care and support. It made me cry, I'm just looking at you. Over the years, and making me see that I can do anything that I want. Thank you, God. John and I have been together for 9 years. He truly is my soulmate, and we do have lots of exciting adventures together. We have got many things in common: Coronation Street, eating bacon sandwiches, always good, as well as the appreciation of music. Well, I see. John likes to go and see live music and enjoys things like Genesis and Pink Floyd and all sorts of fabulous prog rock that has a tendency to put my teeth on edge and make them itch at the same time. Very. How he can't adore listening to Donny Osmond, Billy Joel and Take That in the comfort of his own home with a glass of wine in one hand and a chocolate biscuit in the other is beyond me. But it works for us, doesn't it, darling? Also, he's incredibly handy at fixing things in the house. Now, I like to think of myself as a thoughtful woman who considers all possibilities and outcomes of an action. On the downside, it can take me 6 months and countless tester pots to choose a colour to paint the hall and stairs. And I always end up with magnolia. Les, thank you very much. It looks fantastic. Painting the hall and stairs. John, on the other hand, only has to hear me think out loud, ooh, should we have a shelf in the kitchen? And he's down at B&Q buying nails and wood and things like that. In fairness, it does take me 6 months to decide what colour to paint the shelf in. It's just 6 months. For a long time, the only man in my life was Martin. It was the two of us against the world. So I cannot begin to tell you how much joy this boy has brought me and how proud of him I am today. We would not be here today if Martin had not had the maturity of a much older person and accepted John as part of our family. That said, then became a teenager. He discovered a love of lager and a passionate disregard for homework. You worry too much, man. Don't sweat it, ma'am. It'll be fine. John was brilliant, can I just say, at holding me back, making me breathe, and not let me hit him with something incredibly heavy. But can I just say, he was right, by the way. He's now in his second year at Leeds University, being brilliant at history, so well done, Martin. When we decided to get married, Martin was happy for us, but with his usual laid-back attitude and wondered what had taken us so long. Wondered ourselves sometimes. Alison, my friend. We worked together when Martin and I first returned to Darlington. Little did I know what a great friend you would turn out to be, and our Saturday morning coffee chats in Binzers are fantastic. She also made the beautiful wedding cake.
Oh, lovely.
That is, so and I also, when we get to the parish centre, please try the cupcakes. They are absolutely gorgeous. So can I ask you to raise a glass to my friend Alison, please? I also want to say thank you at this point to my wonderful sister-in-law, who, the fact that she's still my sister-in-law and has been with my brother for 25 plus years is a miracle. Dawn, who has done the flowers for today, the bridesmaids class. To my bridesmaids, to Kath, Annie, Joanne, Anne-Marie, Emma, sorry. Talking the ones I like. We have been friends. Thank you, Michael. I now love you again. We have been friends for too many years to count, ladies. When I think of us as a group, I smile remembering the giggles that we have had. When we are together for longer than 5 minutes, I do feel 17 again. And that is just such a fantastic thing coming from a woman of 50 million. I love that you were all so enthusiastic about the thought of being a bridesmaid, even if we are women of a certain age. The trauma, the genuine trauma of the dresses, hairstyles, fake tans have been totally worth it. I think you are all fabulous and I adore each and every one of you, so thank you so much, ladies. Right?
Oh, the bridesmaids.
Sheila, I've not forgotten you. You are my lovely sister. For all the times we have fought and screamed at each other, and let's face it, there have been plenty. Oh, yeah. And still quite recently, in February. I was going to mention that, but thanks for sharing. There have been 100 times more when we have laughed so hard, you almost wet yourself. Sheila, you're back one. Sheila, let's not go into details. I was 5. Shut up, otherwise we'll have another screaming match. Jill, you are my constant and my rock. I love you as only your sister can. Here's to many more shared goals and seconds. To John, my husband, you have made my world a happier place to be in. You are kind, thoughtful, you can fix a broken leg, and you can make the shower work when it goes wrong. Sweetheart, you are my heart, my light, and my soulmate. Here's to many more adventures, sweetheart. Please, ladies and doctors, some more adventures. Yes! I have got to stop crying! Thank you. Thank you.
And now, regrettably, is my turn. I'd like to begin with something that, being told that I had to make a speech, was necessary, but also something that is true and gives me great pleasure. And that is to point out how beautiful my mum looks tonight. But aside from that, and being told to keep it very short, I was given no guidelines. So with that freedom of mind, I thought I'll start by squashing a rumour. And that is that my mum can, or at least didn't, cook during my youth.
You keep going on. Oh, this is doing that well.
One of the most common things used in this area is the chocolate and onion story, which for those that don't know is very quick and brief. I can talk through it now. Mum, lots of tea. I don't know mine. Check the fridge. And upon opening the fridge was 1 red onion and half bowl of chocolate sauce. That night we got takeaway. But what few people know is that actually took place in the John years. So John shares 50% of that, despite escaping it somehow. But something that is in John's favour, that did take through during the John years, was the growth spurt. Which took me by surprise as much as it took any of you. And that, amongst many things, makes John one of the best decisions that my mum's ever made. Second only to have me in New York.
There you go. And you have done something. Yeah.
Thank you. But really, the two do seem made for each other. They really do. And I think it's got to the point where I've noticed they're becoming each other.
Take your time. Still got like Genesis. Never gonna like Pink Floyd.
Aside from music. It started with Mum drinking tea instead of coffee before work. Okay. John religiously recording and watching Coronation Street, as mentioned. and then weirdly, maybe of all, the sharing of glasses, which at any one time, which at any one time can make my mum look like a supply geography teacher or John like a girl. It's quite bizarre. But all that, any other things, I really wouldn't have our house any other way. And that is huge credit to John. The relationship between an only child and a single mum is one that few people experience. And it's one that me and my mum have found to be fantastic. Testing. On both sides. But fantastic. And for John to change that is credit to him. But yeah, I also thank him because it is better. And I also apologise because after looking around today, it doesn't look like you've got much room to get out. I love you both very dearly. I hope everything was as you wanted from our big day. Our big day. Because I couldn't think of a man or mum more deserving of it. I ask please to stand and raise your glass to Mr. and Mrs. Dan.
Well done.
So we have to be done in here by 7, but I think the plan is everyone back to the parish centre where there is cake and a bar and a lot more people. So I'll see you all then. Sorry. I forgot.
We're going to have to reply.
I'm not going to cry all day, I swear to God. I've practiced that loads of times.
Sorry guys. Dear me, I'm sick of it now.
Would you like to say something, Mrs. Burke?
Thank you. Not too far. It's quite cheap to get along.
If we could crave your indulgence for no more than 12 minutes. It may come as no surprise to people that I am not unaccustomed to public speaking, so it came as a bit of a shock to me that I wasn't asked to make a speech this afternoon. But I wasn't that bothered because I knew what was coming. Now, let me do some introductions. I am Michael, I am Kath's older sister. This is an older brother. This is Athena, known as Sheila, our Kath's older sister. The guy in the white shirt is Chris, and the guy in the cheap grey suit is Dominic. He's a teacher, don't judge him. And they are Kath's younger brothers. We knew today was coming because Kath wouldn't shut up about it, so we got together and we thought we'd like to give her a bit of a present. We did think about putting some money in the pot and buying her something, but that idea didn't last very long. So yesterday, we sat around my kitchen table, had some bacon sandwiches, and we thought of something better. Something better. Now, Kath, even if she wasn't the bride today, is dressed so beautifully, is so full of happiness. You could take her to the Oscars and she would still be the centre of attention. Am I right? We knew this was going to happen. We knew this was going to happen, so we thought to ourselves, how can we make this better? How can we make this better? So we looked upon the ancient Chinese proverb that there is no pleasure like watching an old friend fall from a tall building. In German, Schadenfreude. And so, Kath, here we go. Just for you. Just to make the day more special than it already is. Here's a picture of Sheila. Yes, thanks, Sheila. So, Kath, that made you happy and you enjoyed that? Yeah, we got that right. Well done, everyone. The rest of the pictures in this presentation, perhaps not so much. Sheila.
The right button. I'm trying to bet
Okay, Kath, so can we get that? Let's right click on the next picture. So this section, Kath, and we're all about sections here. Right? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Oh, okay. So this section's all about friends, Kath. And so there was a big feature in all those speeches today about friends and friendship. It was a beautiful thing. I've been a bit premature on that one. And in this section we're going to look at, I know, Catherine, I did tell you at the back. It's all about friendship, and let's just look over the years. Let's be historical about this. Let's just reminisce for a moment. And there she is. What I'm loving about that picture is, let's just look at the background for a minute. Catherine is so contemporary. It's the jam. We're still good with the jam. You're still on trend, my darling, yeah. So it's a huge thing, Kath, friendship, and I have to say, this is the theme throughout the whole day, I think. All I was going to say about that Kath, I'm going to move away from that Kath to this Kath. She's still your friend, and you looked. Who would be friends with somebody who looked like that? No. Come on. Hang on a minute. Let's just back up 1 minute. This is France, 1978. Kath, you're not on this one, but Joanne, where are you? Oh, she's still in maths. Well, there's Joanne with the horn and specs. I know people are right on that. No, little. Kath Cam's not on. You're on. That's my next point. That's my next bullet point, Kath. With the metallic framed glasses. When were they trendy, Kath? When were they trendy? And Emma, where are you? Emma, can we see Emma on that photograph? Emma, I remember that. I remember that day so well. What's going on with the jeans and the outlet? And he's had one of them silky jumpers under the Shetland. They were all the rage at the time, I know. But look, so I think fashion-wise, this tells us how long these people have been friends, and it's a sign of. I'm not going to refer much to myself, centre stage, by the way. The worrying bit of that is that page boy hairstyle. I still got it today. When it's not like this, it looks like that. 40 years later, that's the worrying thing. Anyway, last one. And I think this illustrates what the point I'm trying to make. So fast forward several years, Catherine. What a day was that. What a day. And we're not all on there, Marie, I'm sorry you are missing, but I think the point I'm trying to make is there's a progression through the years. It's never ended. There's a consistency, there's a love, there's a devotion there. I'm proud of, and I think my point is, Kath, I've shown you loads of pictures of you and your friends. They're still here today, but you've let me in. You know what? You can't choose your sister. You can choose your friends. And I'm in the gang. She chose me.
Hi everyone, I'm Kathleen's little brother. I thought what might be useful to John is some talk about the long-term, lifelong, committed adult relationship in Kathleen's life, the scary, dark relationship she has with Sheila. Yes. The real long-term, adult relationship. I found a quote. I did a little bit of research, academic research, and I found a quote about sibling rivalry, and it's this: having a sister is loving someone with all your might, while at the exact same time having an sometimes overwhelming desire to bash her brains out by means of a simple but effective clenched fist. Now, there is a photograph. There is a photograph which shows Sheila demonstrating both sides of that. It demonstrates her hitting Kathleen by the simple and effective means of a clenched fist, but also the love, of gleeful love almost, in her face as she does it. Now that picture's gone missing, and it went missing about the time yesterday when Sheila realised I wanted it to put it in this. Yeah. To be serious for a minute, and all joking aside, there is a lot more to Kath and Sheila's relationship than sometimes hilarious violence. There's 5 decades of committed psychological daily warfare as well, right? which is what this is really all about. And I thought that the classic film which best illustrates the relationship between Kathleen and Sheila is whatever happened to Baby Jane. If anybody doesn't know it, it's a psychodrama about two aging women, sisters, who are trapped in a symbiotic relationship to the point of trying to kill each other. And hopefully... Here they are. And I just thought that was a perfect illustration. And Sheila, of course, is playing the really scary, psychotic character, and Kathleen is the nice one. So what is the driving force between this sometimes violent and sometimes dramatically psychodrama relationship between them? Now, I always thought it was simply about Sheila nicking Kathleen's clothes at various points in their lives. But it turns out, Michael informed me, it's more than that. Michael told me it was all about them both being rivals for his affection. Just like the picture Michael's put in for no reason at all to me. Or mother's shopping money, very rare. Rivals for that. Rivals for boyfriends. Neither of them did win the hand of the millionaire, internationally renowned psychologist, but nonetheless, they did try. Rivals for Dominic's love, too. Not mine. There's no picture of me. Just lovely, cute baby Dominic. Not me. This is what it's really about. Put it on. Put it on. The real reason they sometimes fight is because they're too close. They almost love each other too much. They're too... No, maybe not. They're too supportive. Sometimes, of course, they're going to have the odd fight. But now, John, now you're officially a brother, which you already were, really, anyway. You get to go for pints of beer with him and him, and talk about this. See you in
Good evening. So, in case you don't know, I'm Dominic. I'm baby Dom, Kathleen's youngest brother. And I was asked just yesterday, Sheila.
Who had bets on him?
Putting sibling rivalry aside, to say a few words on the topic of Kathleen's fashion sense and its development over time. I was a bit daunted at short notice by this, but as soon as I started looking through the old photographs, I realised that this speech basically wrote itself. As you can see, exactly. Kathleen was an adorable child. Here she's wearing the beautiful mid-60s Twiggy-esque dress and de rigueur horn-rimmed spectacles of the era. Similarly, she was angelic, Kathleen. Angelic in your first Holy Communion. It's their procession, whatever. The pudding bowl haircut, page boy haircut, can be attributed to our mother, and that's really the point here. These early pictures, in which she's looking good, are really a reflection of my mother's unquestionable style and taste. It's when we reach our teenage years
Catherine makes it stop. Stop.
It's when we're teenagers that we begin to make our own choices about, you know, wearing floppy hair and fat ties. However, Kathleen, in a terrible stroke of misfortune, was making those choices. She reached the teenage years in the 1970s, the decade that fashion forgot. To be fair, she's wearing a school uniform here, so essentially that wasn't her choice, but this was. Exactly. 35 years later, Sheila is still annoyed that Kath stole that t-shirt from her. It's only fair to note that in the early 1980s, Deirdre Barlow was huge. Everyone was wearing those glasses. Yes, Kathleen embraced the 1980s, including the Laura Ashley floral print look. She even could have been said to embrace the 1880s. Nailed the Victorian flower salad up there, Kath. To be fair, I think that was fancy dress, but there is absolutely no excuse for this. Sheila. I honestly didn't know that. Sheila, you were a grown adult. You made that fashion choice for Kath. Sorry, Kath. That wasn't your fault. For me, the one look that she should have persevered with is this one. The 80s new wave synth pop combo look. But it's good to see that she is now very much with us in the 21st century. We've all seen that Kath has pushed the boundaries fashion-wise, and you might even say tested the boundaries of simply good taste over the years. But all of that experimentation has resulted in what we see before us today. The beautiful, chic, stylish, gorgeous bride. But not quite. For those of you who think that this has been somewhat mean-spirited and small-minded and a bit nasty, etc., I can only say to you that what was it like growing up as an only child? Because this has been sibling rivalry red in tooth and claw. We could not let this day go past without torturing our Kath. Just a little bit. Of course, we know that it doesn't really count because she is, to you all and to the rest of the world, and indeed to us, a smart, intelligent, caring, wonderful, warm, funny, capable, successful woman, right? Perhaps the greatest success that she has had has been with Martin, and those of us who are lucky to hear Martin's speech this afternoon, that was a moving thing. Wait till you see the video, it is terrific. But Kath's ability with children was perhaps not God-given, perhaps it's something that she had to learn over time. There are certain indications that it didn't always start terribly well. The reason you are drawn to that is the look of absolute terror in that child's eyes. of course, Martin is no longer the only man in John's life. For those of you who don't know, John and I have known each other since we were 16. For those of you who don't know, John was the kind of kid then who was a free thinker. He was the kind of guy who would kind of sneak up on you in the sixth form common room and say, "I'll never get caught." Come on, let's do it. John was a bit dangerous. Perhaps not so much anymore. But of course, it all came together beautifully. The road had been long and rocky and ups and downs and all the rest. But we ended up here. And it's been like this for, I don't know, 10 years or more.
9.
And actually, I know this is a wedding thing, but what we're actually celebrating is this. That's a unit, man. That's a family. That's stuck together for a while. It's going to stick together forever. This is what we're celebrating. And just in case anybody thinks. Anybody thinks that my siblings and I actually mean it, this was just a slack Tuesday night in the pub. Last pick, Kath. Don't worry. It's a corker. No. This last picture, right? We knew when we started this that we weren't going to finish on a down note. We knew that we were going to finish on a good picture. Or, to put that another way, I was outvoted. You're welcome. Right. So we picked this one. This was a unanimous choice. It was an easy choice. It was the only one we considered. It was the one we all said, yes, that's the one. Now, I'm not entirely sure that Kath is going to agree with this because your eyes are closed in it, right? But it does have two of the defining things about Kath. First of all, it shows her in her natural habitat. The pub.
No.
And second, it shows her doing the thing that she does better than any of us, better than any of you, better than anybody we know, with more gusto and more joy. It shows Kath laughing. Oh, sorry, I don't know how that Thank you, Kath. We love you. Everybody start dancing.
Oh, that was sweet.